G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is the PlasRail. This is a super highly customizable standalone energy weapon, which is definitely a good looking gun, but it will be a lot better looking later because we're going to get it out of this horrible, horrible color scheme. So first off, for the attachments, we've just got the paint scheme here. You can have a traditional retexture with the Chinese and silver ones, but these ones here are actually compatible with a color index mod, which I'll get to later, but you can actually change the pattern of whatever your things are. So you know what, we'll go for the tiger stripe there because that looks the best. Now for the barrel, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. So the standard barrel fires off just a plasma shot that explodes on impact. The standard amplifier one is like the Mark II of that. The arc cannon is a more long-range type weapon, and the projectiles look so much better. There's a Mark II of that, just for a little bit more punch in it. You've got the burst flamer there, which is probably going to act exactly like the plasma flamer that you'd get for the vanilla plasma gun, which is kind of good. The crystallizer turns this thing into a shotgun, which is kind of nice, and the disc launcher fires a disc that seeks your targets if you lock on, which is actually kind of cool. And you've got a Mark II of that if Mark I isn't quite doing it for you. So you know what, we'll just chuck on the standard amplifier here, but I'm going to test all of these anyway, so yeah, we'll chuck on the standard one there, and we'll get to making these a little bit later off screen, so you don't have to sit through that. Next up, we've got the stock. So we've got the low-tech ones and the collapsed and extended forms, and same thing with this. You can actually have a little bit of a blade on the bottom of that to give you superior bash damage, but for some reason that doesn't hurt the player at all. You're not capable of hurting yourself with that, so yeah, good weapon control on your part there. You can have a polymer one if you don't feel like having the blades on there, but you can make that polymer one a little bit bladed there. So you know what, we'll just give ourselves a little bit more close quarters damage with that, even though I rarely gun bash. Alright, next up we've got the cores here. So we've got the standard one, which is good. The dual core turns it into automatic. Obviously uses the commando perk. Heat sink. Does what it says on the box. I don't really need to explain this. If you actually want to read these fully, just pause, because I'm not going to be yapping on about this. There's people watching. They probably want to see me get to the action. So there you go. We'll chuck on the overcharger for better damage. Have a read through them if you're actually interested, because I'm not really. Now, for the scopes or the sights, we'll just go for a regular thing there. We've got the counter there if we want to. We're aiming up through the sights there. Can we get any reflex? Yes, let's get the reflex with a counter. That definitely looks very nice there. It's connecting to that little pipe there. It's looking very good. And we can have a shielded slide if we wanted to. And it full radiation protects the user from feedback while firing, so maybe this weapon does hurt you in some way. So you know what, we'll get ourselves a little bit more protection, why not? Now, where was I? So you can have this thing with a flashlight. You know what, we'll just chuck it on the bright one. I rarely use flashlights anyway, but that's a little bit more customization for you. And now we can actually change the color of this thing, which is much needed. So we'll go for, let's see if we can get an Institute color scheme going on with black, white, and red. Not really what I'm looking for there. I think I had one just before that was good. Yeah, that'll do me. That looks nice and Institute enough without being blatantly Institute. And of course, a legendary effect is there if we need it, but we probably won't. So we'll take this thing into Gunner's Plaza along with many others and see what it can do. Obviously, that base damage is looking impressive. Okay, here we are in Gunner's Plaza, and this is our PlasRail. We've got this fully charged, which is nice, but it's going to be taking quite a while to recharge because we've got this thing on that highest damage capacitor there, which takes a while. So that's what this thing looks like in third person, which is awesome. In first person, looks great too. You can see the charging thing there, which is good. This thing uses Gauss rifle animations, which line up pretty well to holding the weapon. Also, it shines on walls like the minigun would if it's barrels are glowing red hot, which is actually kind of cool. I love that sort of attention to detail. And yeah, this thing, animation lines up pretty well, except for when you reload, that's a little bit off, but you know what, that's fine. Now, when you fire this thing, you have to wait for this thing to recharge, and you've actually got enough time to reload it before it does that. I've played myself a little bit there in choosing the highest damage capacitor there. Also, it's very rewarding if you do hit, but it's pretty terrible when you don't hit because you don't get a lot of damage with splash, which makes this a pretty skilled weapon because yeah, this thing isn't hit scan like most of the weapons in Fallout, and most of the plasma weapons aren't, but yeah, that is the main sort of drawback to them. But this thing actually rewards you very well for actually doing that. Also, the sound glitch. There it goes. It all catches up at once. It makes a hell of a noise. So that was just the basic barrel. We'll move on to the long-range sniper to take out these long-range targets down here. Lots of distance here. Definitely couldn't hit him with my other weapon. Now, we'll just knock off these turrets first. This thing makes the sound of the laser rifle fired in slow motion, so it definitely sounds powerful there. And all those bloody laser beams or plasma beams coming out is definitely satisfying. I'm definitely loving the aesthetic of the weapon and all of the textures on it. This is the Chinese variant, just brilliant. Cross is really outdone himself, and I usually actually use cross mods just in the background. I never point it out. The top and the belt and all of the things around there actually are from Cross's swimsuit there, and that's what I use for Matilda's shoes as well. Definitely a talented modder. I should actually refer to him as Nero because that's what he's called. All of his mods are just marked as Cross. So that's enough of the sniper one. We'll head over to the shotgun one. That'll probably do him in pretty well. Yep. Would you believe the shotgun one is powerful at close range? We'll just get a quick reload off as this thing is recharging. And we'll sneak attack crit whoever is in here. Where are you, mate? There you are. Yep, kills a gunner conscript in one shot. Not a big surprise, but we'll see this thing in action as we come up to Captain Bridget here. We'll just run up to this turret there. And although we won't be firing at full power when we go as fast as we can still do a pretty good amount of damage. Now, the thing about weapons when it comes to VATS and charging is that they're always going to be fully charged when you're in VATS. And how the game balances this, or how the modder balances this with all of the weapons, is that you actually get a little bit of a VATS penalty when you choose the highest charge capacitors that would take ages to charge. But obviously, you can still bust off a respectable amount of shots there, like 5 shots. He's going to be dead by the first, but the next follow-up shot and all the follow-up shots after that, they're going to be killing people. So yeah, in terms of VATS balance, this thing is going to be absolutely devastating, and probably should use for more AP to actually fire the thing. Also, I should probably respond to this threat. This is the Plasma Flamer, so we'll just cook him. Now, how this works is a little bit different to what you have the Pocket Rocket Flamer than you get with the Plasma one there, is that it charges up and fires a semi-auto shot, but then you have to wait for it to bloody recharge before you fire it again. Now, the caveat to this is that it's actually really powerful in one shot, rather than the one having the cost all of the bloody plasma cartridges in the world, so it's a little bit more ammo efficient there. Also, one of them's picked up the Bridget gun, so I'm just going to pop a stim pack to make sure I don't die. And also, can I have that gun off you? It's really broken. Down you go. And yep, I'll just grab that. Yes, indeed, boobs. Okay, so that was the Plasma Flame. It pretty much works like a shotgun, but it's a little bit more forgiving with the range, because it's more of a cone of fire rather than just a spread of multiple projectiles. Also, some flying people there. Now, here we go. This is the disc one. This is the coolest projectile ever. So we'll just lock onto him, and we'll fire it down. And we're not hitting him for some reason. Maybe we just arc up a little bit. No. There we go. Hitting him a little bit better there. And we should probably wait for this thing to fully recharge, because we'll get definitely better damage out of that. So down you go, cheap turret. And that one's only a Mark 1, so we don't have to really recharge there. We'll get to see more of this disc shooting thing when we get to longer ranges. But for now, in Gunner's Plaza, it's doing pretty well. And yeah, I should probably stand back when I'm shooting people with this, because I feel like it's got a little bit of splash damage to it. Right, we'll just whip out the shotgun. One blast in the chest there, you are definitely dead. And I believe the best thing you can do to run this weapon is just use it in VATS all the time, because you don't have to wait for the lengthy recharge times as you would in real time. But if you're not a fan of using VATS gratuitously, then I understand if you don't want this thing. Also, that was not my target in VATS, and I probably should have critted, so I killed both of them with a nice collateral there. Speaking of crits, this thing is obviously very good with them, and we'll just finish off these last ones. Like that, we'll whip out the sniper one again, and do a crit on your face because you need to die. Let's have a nice slow motion look at all these plasma projectiles. They're looking like a little bit like the Minuteman laser musket projectiles, but retextured to glow bright green like the plasma bolt. So you know what? That actually looks pretty cool. I've got no idea how they made that. Also, I killed that turret earlier. But yes, very, very impressed with the performance and the balance of this thing, even though it's a little bit skewed in VATS. But yes, a big fan of this weapon. This one's been out for a while though, and you've probably already downloaded this. But if you haven't, try it out. It's a whole lot of fun. We'll move on to something else. I like how the game's given me a vanilla plasma rifle on the loading screen. You can almost hear Shannon Knowles, "What about me? It isn't fair." Okay, so I'm not going to be testing it on supermoons because we've already seen this thing's abilities in close quarters, and you know what? We're bored of killing super mutants right now, so we'll just start off by killing this turret here, and then we'll bring out our beautiful big old disc shooting one, because we really can't be bothered aiming, and we'll take out old mate up here. So we've got this thing fully charged, and not locking onto him. I'm pretty sure these things were meant to lock on, but you know what? Since we can't be bothered aiming anyway, we'll just hit him in VATS. Ah, it did arc towards him, and you all saw it. And if you didn't see it, replay that footage. It definitely happened. So we'll switch over to our sniper one now, and we'll just wait until we've got a fully charged thing here. I like the fact that this is like a see-through scope, and you can see your charge even while scoped in. Oh, we've got a bunch of gunners around here. I do believe it is time for a bit of old gun foo, I think. So we'll switch over to our short-barreled one. That should do it. Yes, it should. And now, with the short barrel on the reflex sight, we can go absolutely ham with the good old gun foo. So that's 4. That should all be kills, hopefully. Hang on, how much chance do we hit you? Okay, this thing is not too great at range, but now it's good. Okay, hopefully... Oh, inappropriate bat shot there. I apologize, but yep. Yeah, this thing is going to be great there. We'll just chain up all of these bat strikes there. Yep. Oh, so I missed this guy. Well, I'm going to fix that problem right now. I have a crit to the face. You'd probably be gorified now, but I've got gore turned off for frame rate reasons. Also, it keeps YouTube happy not having lots of blood and gore on their platform, would you believe? No need to use this thing anymore. We'll just whip out the sniper one, and we'll get a nice headshot there. This thing is much more accurate at range, and there's a nice little cinematic shot of Phoebes blowing that dude's... not blowing that dude's head off because obviously gore is off, but you get the idea. Just picture all the exploding corpses in your head. I like my frame rate the way it is. Now, we'll just crawl up here, and this thing is not really suppressed, obviously, but we're killing people that effectively that they've got no chance to actually get back to all their mates. But now we are in a situation where they have sort of aggroed, so probably a good idea to get stuck into some of these gunners now. Oh, we've only got 2 shots for this thing in VATS, so this thing's a little bit more balanced when it comes to VATS gameplay, but the shorter barreled ones, you can just bloody fire that thing off for days there. So yeah, this thing's a little bit more balanced for that sort of thing. Now, we'll switch over to our shotgun since we're going in very close range, yes, and we'll shove some more cross plasma cell thingies in there, and then we'll sneak up on this guy because this is the most stealthy approach. Yeah, screw your combat armor, and we'll give you a bit of a bash to kill ya. Now, come on, there we go. I think this one has a little bayonet on the thing. Yes, it does, but didn't get that crit with the bash earlier, so we couldn't get him in one. And you know what? We'll keep out this little thing here. There should be a dude in power armor. Ooh, big scary dude in power armor. He can't see me for some reason. You're dead, he says, and he fires at me with an inferior weapon. Well, I got news for you. It is you that is dead. I just dabbed. No, I didn't. Now, we'll kill this dude here who's always on smoko. This guy really doesn't give a hoot about who's getting killed. Or this gal, actually. So we'll just quickly finish you off by hitting you twice there. I'm definitely liking this barrel a lot because it's nice and satisfying to hit people with it with a nice explosion. Alright, now we're in danger. Let's bring out the old sniper and see what we can do there. Ooh, nice lighting with the laser beam on there. Soltron there. Ooh, you bloody tried it. Oh, come back here, robot. How is that beam still going? That's alright, we'll just wait. Wait a second. You can't do that. She's just firing the beam off. Oh, okay. She's just death starring her way to fucking kill me. Well, I got news for you. I've got a close range weapon, and we're going to actually, with a melee bot, I should probably back off a little bit. Anyway, we'll switch over to the sniper one again. See if we can't hit somebody there. We've got a 95% chance at the left leg, so we'll just kneecap him a little bit. And now we're out of action points, but that's okay because we've got many powered legendary effect bits on. So we'll go for a crit on you. Very nice. Alright, I'm feeling in the mood to cook some more gunners, so we'll just hop down here. There we go. And there's usually... Oh, would you stop doing that? That's it. You're gone. You're G-O-R-N gone, mate. There we go. A little bit of damage over time, I believe, got you. Unless I shot just about as you were about to hit me, but we ended up getting staggered there for some reason. And this thing would probably be interesting with the legendary explosive effect, because it seems to be firing a little bit of a plasma flame, like heaps of it per shot. So maybe you could turn this into a super shotgun if you went and attached the explosive effect onto that. But obviously, yeah, no way. This thing is good enough as it is, doesn't need no legendary effects. And even playing on very hard, I'm still having a great time killing all of these dudes there. Alright, more of this can't be bothered aiming. We'll just hit him up in VATS. And I believe that last one there is a turret. Oh look, we've got another one there. I wish Tessa was around. I already cleared this place out, and I wish Tessa was still around to kill. I think they're inside a wall. Yep, that's inside the wall. I'll deal with you later, but for now we'll just kill this turret, and then I'll swiftly clip through that wall and kill that bloody glitchy gunner. Whoops, wrong alley. This is the one, and down you go. Okay, it turns out he was just on a staircase, but that's not going to save you, for I have the penetrator perk. Except it doesn't really work with these weapons. I'll just hit you outright there, that'll do well. And a little bit of splash damage will kill you. There we go, I don't even... Yep, I'm just being a lazy aiming person today. And, yep, that's fine. The week's over, I'm heading into my weekend, I'm allowed to be lazy. Okay, so I think that gives you a good idea of what this thing can perform like. And I'm pretty sure we've got no more time left for monsters, but be sure to test it on them and see how it goes. Don't need to make this video longer than it needs to be. You get the idea. So that was a cross PlasRail there. Definitely a really cool weapon. I highly recommend this to anyone. Like I said before, it's been out for a while, so you've probably come across this or tested it out yourself. But damn, get it if you haven't. This is good. Good stuff. Thanks for watching, guys.